Hi. Wanted to do a video about chords again. So I think chords are very important, and I think I improved my playing, even my solo playing, a lot just by improving my chord vocabulary. And a lot of times when you look at chord books, it's daunting because you don't realize what the logic is behind. I used to just memorize the chords, or I would just like memorize the chord solo and do it that way. And then I started looking at it, and it really helped kind of simplify things. Pat Martino is really, really brilliant, and he talks about this, and this whole concept is about the diminished chord being the parent chord of dominant seven chords. By way of example, what he does is he takes a simple form of a diminished in the string groups D, D, G, B, E. So if we looked at a diminished chord, it looks like this, very similar to a minor 7/5 to fifth. So one here, that's on the E, right here, that's on the B flat, right here, that's on a C sharp, and right here, that's on a D. Okay, so that's the way an E diminished looks like, with this being the root of the diminished chord. Now, anytime you displace any finger one fret lower and you hold the other notes exactly the same, it will form a dominant seven chord. And the note that you displace, or I should say the finger that you displace one fret lower, that becomes the root of that dominant seven chord. So, way to explain this is you've got this as the parent chord, E diminished. So my index finger is on an E right here. If I remain everything the same, okay, and move it down one, that becomes an E flat 7, which a lot of people are probably familiar with this file. Okay, so that's an E flat 7. The next one, here we go, the parent chord. Now if you take this B flat right here and you displace it one fret below it, that becomes the root, and that becomes an A7. And an A7 looks like this. So you wouldn't just go like that and have all your fingers clumped up. So these two like that, but we played really bored this way. So that's an A7, and it's coming from the parent chord diminished. So the next one is a C. I should say a C sharp in the E diminished, right? If we lowered this one, that becomes the root, and that's going to become a C7. So remember, you had, so it looks like this now. So all I'm doing is displacing this here to a C, C7. The last one of the form of the chord is you bring it one down, that's a G to G flat. Everything remains the same in the diminished form. Looks like this, and that's a G flat 7. So basically what you've done is you've taken a parent chord, one, and you've got yourself four dominant 7 chords. So E diminished, E flat dominant 7, E diminished, A 7th, E diminished, C 7th, E diminished, G flat 7. So okay, so he calls this I think he calls it vertical movement, which is you're basically moving up and down. You can do the same thing moving horizontally, and those become the inversions of the dominant 7. So if you were to start right here, this form, C, right? So that's a C7. This is an inversion. That's also C7. First inversion. C7. C7. Okay? And this is horizontal movement of the chord. So this is like and remember, when you do this, this is the root. So you can move this up, and that becomes a F diminished, G diminished, C7, C sharp 7, D7, D sharp E flat, E7. You get the notion. Once you find that that's the root and you memorize the form, you basically have gotten all the dominant 7 chords within that type of a form, and you can play around with the inversion. So it's just a nice, neat little way to kind of open up your chord vocabulary, and hopefully this helped you out. Thank you for watching.